For everybody on YouTube right now, I'm just going to explain this real quick. I've already read this one. I read the next one as well. Because I was streaming a day ago, and then I realized I was just getting more and more tired. Freshly recovering from, being ill. Which is, it's not fully gone yet either. And I can feel my head wanting to go into a headache mode, which I'm like, please don't do that. Oh fuck. Okay, hold on. I have to get voice smart to understand it's me. I think it does. Maybe. So we shall reread 2 SCPs already read yesterday. Part of me is like, I was like, well, we could just skip it. But that's not the point now, is it? The point is, I need to actually understand what I read. I know the first one. The first one was pretty simple to understand. But by the second one, I already started to like fade out when it came to being tired. So we gotta prevent that from happening. Why is it not showing up? And this time I won't mix up mashed potatoes with potato salad like I did yesterday. Yeah. Because this time you know it. Okay. Let me just... There's some weird stuff happening here. Why is... Why is this not showing? Okay, hold on. Let me just play a video real quick. Let me click on this one. And let's see. There it is. Yeah, I'm not sure why I didn't show before.
Ich habe Dinge gesehen.
Na, wer von euch hat vor sich das neue GTA 6?
Alright, I just wanted to check that so I can change the Opera GX audio output. In case because there is, I believe, Howard told me there is one SCP that has an actual audio part in it. So I just want to prepare myself for that. Okay. I think without further ado, we can actually get started. Because, yeah, I want to get through the first 2 real quick. Because, like I said before, we already read them. So the first one is written by, if I'm not mistaken, DJ Cactus. Because I remember that I said yesterday. Oh, it's such a cool like little start from DJ. So yeah, and it's called Devil's Nightlight. Hopefully everything works. Yes, but I'm facing the wrong direction. There we go. Alright. Let's get started. Object class, safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-2980 is to be contained in a standard item locker at Site 81. SCP-2980 may only be removed from storage for testing. Description: SCP-2980 is a nondescript incandescent light bulb of unknown make situated on top of a standard plastic 125 volts wall adapter block. The bulb itself is clear, with a standard filament and wiring system. The mounting bracket is red in color with a smiley face logo on both sides and a small black on-off switch on the front. And then here we have a picture that says doing SCP-2980 doing testing. Yeah, it's very red. It's very red. When SCP-2980 is plugged into a standard 125 volts wall socket and turned on, regardless of whether or not the socket is currently receiving power, and when the local time reaches 2030, SCP-2980 will power on and emit a red light. Any other lights in the room remaining powered at 2030 will dim quickly until the only source of lighting is SCP-2980. Upon SCP-2980 turning on, a Class 5 corporeal humanoid entity designated -1 will materialize somewhere in the room containing SCP-2980. -1 appears as a large, hoofed bipedal creature with dark red skin and curled horns. As I mentioned yesterday as well, there you go, there's the devil right there. Out of these characteristics, -1 appears otherwise human, with human facial features and a human torso and arms. For 15 to 30 minutes after appearing, -1 will proceed to read a story or collection of short stories to anyone nearby. -1 will read out of a small black book with a leather binding and parchment pages. Notably, -1 will wear a pair of spectacles during the reading. Upon reaching the end of the tale, or if subjects listening to -1's reading fall asleep, -1 will dematerialize. SCP-2980 will remain on until powered off. Individuals who listen to the entirety of -1's story will invariably fall asleep at its conclusion and awaken roughly 9 hours later. Subjects universally claim to feel well rested afterwards. And like I said yesterday, but I wrote it in the wrong way, I will have you know that -1 creature is a really good family friend of ours. And Xeno is here now. This time won't miss the first one, which is the devil reading you nighttime stories. But only if you have the lights on. Interview with -1. On. Okay. Why won't you work? Let me see here. Of course, the moment I'm back in a different location, I have technical difficulties. Yeah, instant. It's like, Ghost mode is not running. Yes, it is. Y'all fucking dickhead. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not recognizing voice while not being on. So I'll do it differently. I'll just click on here instead. Dr. Randall entered SCP-2980's testing chamber, interrupting -1's story, the tidal Eldritch Abomination, and requesting an interview. That's definitely a story that Mechanic got told to as a child, as a baby alien. -1 came by and was like, "You want me to read you the..." Wait, actually, hold on. "Oh, do you want me to read you the tidal Eldritch Abomination?" And requesting an interview. -1 was eager to oblige, and the following interview took place. Fun fact time, folks, -1 creature just to read bedtime stories for me when I was a young hybrid. That's literally what I just said. It's great that next week this will be the last of Series 3. Yes. -1, thank you for sitting down with me. Can you tell me more about what caused you to be here? Well, Doctor. Hold on. I have to get the voice back. It's been a while since I had done the Bane voice. Because usually I do like the, "Well, Doctor, I think I just got tired of doing the same old thing all the time, you know. I mean, everybody sort of gets it in their head that it's some easy thing to torture and damn people for eternity, but it really starts to wear on you after a while. Besides, for the last 1,000 years or so, I've really been wanting to take my riding on the road, right? Get out there and see my people. So a few months ago, I loaded up my things, and well, here I am. It was a long and fun journey, and I'm not gonna read that. I see. So the stories, they're all original? Oh, absolutely. A lot of it's drawn from personal experiences, stuff I encounter on a day-to-day basis. Pretty personal, you know. I also dabble in a lot of different works. Read a lot of different stuff by different authors. Really try and widen my horizons, right? Get a good feel of what the kids are reading nowadays. Of course, of course. Now, you mentioned children. SCP-2980 was originally discovered in an orphanage. Any reason in particular why it would have ended up there? You know, with the kids, it's really all about giving back, right? I just feel like I've lived my whole existence and not really ever had a chance to make a difference in somebody's life. I figured if I can help some kid rest easier at night, that counts for something. Gotta make every day count. Leave the world a better place than when you found it. Is there anything else you'd like to add, -1? Sure. I've got a collection of bedtime stories for children coming out next spring. Really solid stuff. I mean, who am I to say anything about my own work, right? But seriously, the reviews are great. Check it out. Definitely worth your time. Proceeds all go to the Foundation for Underprivileged Youth. Really great cause. I amazed you already knew about that when Creature was reading me bedtime story. You have connection to everyone as a cultist, right? Some SCPs are connected to my non-human family set, you know? Yes. I'm not surprised. Addendum A. Samples of -1 stories. The following is a short sample of stories read by -1 during containment. The Little Demon Space Cadet. Story depicts a small demon who dreams of going to space. Small demon constructs a spaceship out of human bones and uses it to fly to the moon. Sleepy Time with Grog on Unspeakable. And I remember who Grog is. It's that one Muppet SCP that like keeps on expanding. The body just keeps growing. Story depicts the main character Grog the Unspeakable, trying to find a suitable location to begin his millennium-long slumber. It is mentioned many times throughout that Grog is sleepy. Bedtime with her baby Beelzebub. So it depicts the infant incarnation of the Lord of Flies being prepared for slumber by a large insectine creature. Story ends with baby Beelzebub being covered up by a blanket made of damned human souls, and falling asleep to the screams of the stricken. Redacted. Story contains sensitive information about SCP. When questioned, -1 maintained that it was an original work of fiction. And then Danby. Story depicts a young deer who disturbed... my eye. Nope. The story depicts a young deer who, disturbed emotionally by the death of his mother, signs a deal with a demon and goes on a murderous rampage after being twisted into an unholy form and falling from the sky. Story ends with Danby falling asleep amongst the corpses of its foes after exacting its vengeance. And I did mention like the joke yesterday. That one Viner who, like, the little mini series that he did back then, like basically three lines about it, how like he has like babysit a Viking's child. And one of the joke was basically him going like, it was him like you should go, it's time for your bath, you should go take a bath. And then the child just answers like, I'm gonna take a bath in the blood of my enemies. And he's like, oh, of course you do. So I've retold that joke again now. My dad is a mixture of redacted and data expunged. You would read Dan B? Of course you would. Addendum B. I mean, Vine didn't last that long. Like, in those 3 years, I feel like most people know most of the Vines. Doing routine testing on... Does that even work? Yeah, it does, okay. -1 told a story entitled The Little Monstrosity Early Bedtime, depicting a data expunged going on an adventure to get home so it could be reunited with its mother and countless waiting brethren. Shortly thereafter, Sight experienced a breach of SCP, which caused casualties and data expunged. Disappeared. Due to the similarities between SCP and the creature in -1's story, Dr. Randall was called into question -1. -1 responded that, well, I mean, I want to know, right? I've been thinking for a while, and really think I'm ready to take my writing in a new direction. You can't please everybody, though, but sometimes you hit one of the park. That's why we do it, you know? Right, I mean, it's all about pleasing an audience. And we're done. That was by DJ Cactus, again, everybody, just so you all know. It's a fun little start. I said the same thing yesterday, and then... Pardon me. And then we got to the next one, which it's also fun, but I was slowly starting to get a little bit tired. And then by the third one, that's when I realized like I am not okay. And luckily, my people in the chat here were kind enough to be like, hey, you can just go to bed. Which I did. I have no idea why I was so tired yesterday though. It feels like, I mean, I do, because like my body was like still recovering and shit was not going well, but yes, Mechanic is allowed to befriend this SCP. It's fine. I mean, I don't even have to give him permission because they're already friends. They're already like family acquaintances. So yeah, we shall continue with the next one though.